I received a lot of positive feedback on my greatest of all time videos. My GTA 6 piece and my short would focus on Titus from Warhammer. Because of this, I've decided to start a new series which focuses on game characters specifically. Today we'll be looking at someone I had ranked third in my greatest of all time list, Demetrian Titus. Who actually is this Giga Chad? Today we find out, but before we do, a quick disclaimer. I am not arbitrary Ian. This is not a Warhammer channel. I'm just a fan who's been in love with the universe through Space Marine, and I went down the rabbit hole hard. All research on a channel I've double, triple checked, nowhere I was used. If I've got something wrong, and there's generally a chance to have, please let me know in the comments. Right, with that said, this is a full story of Captain Demetrian Titus of the Ultramarines. Let's go. Demetrian Titus was born on the agriculture world of Tarantus. Tarantus is not the lush, green, farming world you may imagine when someone serves an agriculture world. It is a desert, rocky, arid and dry. It sits in a triple world system called the Three Planets. Alongside Quintan and Masali, Tarantus makes up the third desert world orbiting a common central gravity. All of them somehow producing enormous amounts of food for the wider Imperium. Hundreds of dome cities cover the surface. From space, they look like bubbles scattered across a wasteland. Inside each dome is a carefully managed farmland, hydroponic system, entire ecosystem producing food for worlds Tarantus will never see. Essentially, Tarantus is Arrakis from Doom. After the Battle of Macragge, orc scavengers invaded the fruit planets and conquered them. It took for Kargon himself, leading the Ultramarines, to take it back. Then a demon launching an invasion where the whole population was massacred, and once again Calgar had to intervene to stop it. So it kind of makes sense now how such a troubled planet could produce a boy with low fear. And if you find yourself wondering about Titus's family, don't bother. The lore gives us nothing except one phrase: a humble family of modest means, whatever that means. Fast forward a few years, the Taurus takes this boy from a desert world inside a dome and brings him into the Ultramarine 10th Company, kind of a scout company where young aspirants are put through everything the chapter could throw at them before they're trusted with the full power armor. And as you can imagine, Titus succeeds all of it, which honestly, not that surprising. I mean, if you're a young boy carrying a spacefaring combat knife through the battlefield without flinching, you're probably not going to be too bothered by a few little hurdles here and there. But becoming a Space Marine doesn't fix everything overnight, and the lore is pretty honest about this. Titus struggled very early on with his temper as a young Astartes. And then, early in his career, something happened that would follow him for the rest of his life. During the campaign against Chaos, Titus actually killed a Chaos sorcerer by himself, but his whole team perished by the time the battle was over. The chapter's apothecaries were reportedly surprised that Titus survived given all his injuries. It's strange for someone to just walk out of something of that magnitude. In almost any other context, that victory would have been celebrated. But this is Warhammer 40k, and the question that followed him home wasn't how he survived, but why. He had no answer, and the silence started to follow him around. But doesn't matter anyway, because within 50 years, our young Titus finds himself as a fully fledged Space Marine. So, enter 2011 Warhammer 40k Space Marine the game, voiced by Mark Strong. The game opens up with Titus leading a force to the forge world of Graia. Orcs have invaded. A warp drive that could tear apart reality is at risk of falling to chaos. Titus methodically demolishes everything in his way. Orcs, chaos, space marines, actual demons, and at the end of it, he personally killed the demon prince himself. Yes, I repeat, a demon prince alone. And doing all of this, the chaos resistance shows up again. warp energy that should break any warrior, just doesn't faze him. His battle brother, Lialdros, who has spent the entire game being extremely annoyed about the rules and the protocols. This is suspicious rather than impressive. He files a report to the Inquisition, and at the end of the game, after killing the Demon Prince, saving the Forge World, and holding the line both against orcs and chaos, Titus is taken into custody. Not for a failure, for women in a way but no one could explain. Titus goes quietly, no rage, no protest, just complete shock and stillness. After Space Marine 1, Titus completely disappeared from the records. It turns out he got reassigned as a Death Watch Black Shield. No name, no chapter, no history, given the missions the Imperium needs done but doesn't want anyone to officially know about. For decades that was Titus. At some point during all of this, he underwent the Rubicon Primaris, the surgery that transforms the firstborn Marine into something more formidable. The operation that kills a meaningful percentage of those that attempt it. But once again, of course, Titus survived it. In 2024, the moment we will be waiting for, Space Marine 2 and Titus late to come back. Clive Standen takes over for March Strong. Space Marine 2 puts Titus up against the Tyrannid Swarm at a scale that makes Gruyar look like a minor inconvenience. Calgar finally explains the Chaos resistance, his devotion is so complete that Chaos has nothing to offer him, which honestly kind of explains everything. Late sense, let's move on. By the end of Space Marine 2, he gets it all back. Captain, Warder of Ultramar, tasked with expanding Ultramar back to its pre-heresy size of 500 worlds. 300 years, 4 gold studs, and a crazy to-do list. So, what's next for Titus? Quite a lot to achieve. Secret level, Amazon Prime, December 2024. Sir Arthur's Space Marine 2, making this the most recent story in the chapter we have of Titus. The mission? To take the squad to a distant world and destroy a chaos relic belonging to a demon cult. The mission brief lists Project Mortality of Absolute, which is the Imperium's way of saying that everyone on the suspicion is likely to die, but still he's doing anyway. The squads fight through chaos cultists, dragging the chained sarcophagus, which contains the imprisoned Imperial cycle they're using to weaken the relic. They reach the target, the cycle starts doing his thingy, and then just like that, the sorcerer appears. It freezes time, go through a squad one by one, reaching into their mind and kills them with their own worst fears. Every Marine falls, until it gets to Titus. It reaches Titus expecting fear. Instead, it finds a child, standing on a battlefield, covered in blood, completely unafraid. Titus breaks its staff, bisects it, calls in an orbital bombardment to destroy the relic. Project Mortality, absolute. Titus, fine. On the game side of things, Space Marine 2 has a full year 2 content roadmap running deep into 2026. And reports suggest Space Marine 3 is already in development at Saber Interactive. Given that Space Marine 2 shipped over 5 million copies in its first month and is still very much alive, I'll be shocked if Titus isn't back for a third installment. So that's it, the full story of Demetrian Titus, from a fearless child to the Warden of Ultramar. He may be 300 years old, but I think he's still got a few more chapters left in him. If you haven't played Space Marine yet, go and play it. And if you haven't watched the secret level episode yet, then what are you doing with your life? And again, if I've got anything wrong in the studio, please correct me in the comments. I did my best and I really want to get this right. If you want more videos like this, characters, lore, deep dives, just let me know below. I'm Shabby Orion for the Emperor.